Happy Friday and welcome to the Friday live Q&A with my Amazon guy. My name is Noah Wickham. As always, I am here to answer any and all Amazon questions today. So we have some other stuff we're going to get into as well. We're going to get in some of the news around Amazon. But for now, put your questions into the chat. I'll be getting to them one at a time. Anything you want to get into, whether it's an ASIN review, whether you are having issues with seller support like we all do all the time, I am here to answer any and all questions. So to start us off today, I was looking through some of this and wanted to get first into this one. Because as you guys know, I'm big into Amazon advertising PPC. I think this is a great question. I am an Amazon PPC expert from the last 3 years. Individual, my best results is 0.06 tacos. So my question is, Amazon PPC is long-term skill, or can I go with Google Ads? I'm worried about my future. So a few things here to kind of cover. First and foremost, 0.06% tacos. That's really, really good. I would also say it's a little too low. Some people, when they look at tacos, they look at it as you should have as low as tacos as possible, which is true to an extent. The thing is great to have organic as being your primary. You want, however, to typically run about an 80-20 rule, right? So if you can have 80% of your organic, 20%, right? But if you have too low of tacos, that means you're not actively growing your brand as a whole. So that's something you do want to look into when you are doing your PPC, just as an FYI here. But to answer your question more specifically, Google Ads, great skill to have. Absolutely great skill to have. It's something that, I know a lot about Google Ads. I did it back in my heyday and whatnot. And so absolutely, if that's something you're interested in, go for it. I think Amazon Ads, however, is not going anywhere. If anything, Amazon is pushing more and more for advertising on their platform, and it's going to continue staying the top dog at the end of the day. So yes, go for other platforms, other skills, always going to coach for that. But also, at the end of the day, Amazon Ads, here to stay. So great question, though, Abdul. Let's go. We got Beast Canteen as well here. Part 1 of 2. If you notice any changes to how Amazon has been running ASIN targeting campaigns lately, I have a busy season leading up to Easter. I noticed that all my historically successful ASIN targeting campaigns performed terribly. Conversion rates declined significantly to the point that I have to turn off these campaigns. No, I haven't really. I will say from just a general overall of how Amazon is doing in the advertising space and how ASINs are doing and sellers are doing, I have noticed a little bit of a decline when it comes to ASIN targeting. I don't think that's so much just something to do with the actual advertising. I think that's just part of the ever-changing landscape that is Amazon as a marketplace, right? So the biggest thing that I'm kind of seeing more so is that Amazon's putting a lot of focus into brands. And what I mean by that is they want to make Amazon exclusive brands, right? So, I mean, you have things like Amazon Japan, where you can have an exclusive Amazon brand and it has loyalty points, all this other stuff, right? But the point I'm saying is essentially sponsor display, sponsor brand, things like that is probably going to be a little bit more of a target friendly environment here coming up. But ASIN targeting, I still think, is a very, very viable skill. For your specific issue, here's what I would look at. I would take a look and see where were your lowest factors. So are you targeting the exact same thing? Did you run a new competitor analysis? Has your competition in the last year changed? That's usually where you're going to have your biggest hurdles coming through when it comes to something like this, if you are having issues with your ASIN targeting. So check those out. Make sure nothing has really changed majorly in the actual game. And on top of that, an entire chance that your competitors are also, bidding much higher, which is going to, lead to some hard times. Check to make sure that your images and everything don't need to be updated. It's been a year. You should probably have some new images. So check all that out, see if it helps. And then as well from Beast Canteen, we have another question of, do many of your clients use transparency? I'm interested in this program to block listing hijackers. Any feedback from clients on this program? Transparency is a good and really, really bad program all in one. So let's talk about it. So essentially, for those of you who do not know what Amazon Transparency is, I will pull it up on the screen real quick here, just so that everyone can see. Essentially, Amazon Transparency is the program in which you are able to effectively label your products with the transparency code. Amazon then has to use that code if you are to sell via FBA. Now, what are the pro cons of transparency and what is the actual goal here? The goal here is to essentially make it so other people, resellers, hijackers, anything like that, can't sell your product because they don't have transparency codes. The transparency codes are only accessible via you, via the transparency program, which you can find under brands and protect your brand with transparency. Now, would I suggest someone enroll in transparency? No. Typically speaking, I'm not going to suggest that someone just enrolls in transparency unless they are having major issues with resellers that they cannot control. This usually happens when someone has a lot of wholesale clients or they sell their products retail, something along those lines, right? But typically speaking, transparency program usually will have more issues than not for you, and there's no real point to it unless you're having some major problems when it comes to, like I said, those resellers and hijackers. So transparency, it can have some good benefits, but at the end of the day, unless you're having those issues, I would just stay away from it. It's just going to be an added cost, extra labor, and on top of that, you can run into problems. I've seen many times where a transparency code turns out to be wrong, and guess what? Now all of your inventory is considered defective. So there you go. Great questions to start the day here, guys. Alejandro, hello. We have an ASIN that was closed for breakage 2 months ago. We got reinstated, but the inventory went to FC processing. How can we get Amazon to release it and put it available again? So FC processing is just when Amazon is looking for inventory that they are going to put into FC transfer. This means that they are going to be pushing that inventory to multiple warehouses. Best thing you can do here, one, just open a case and ask them to release the inventory. They will typically come back to you and say, hey, you have to wait for it. It is currently just processing. But opening that case will get the ball moving a little bit faster. It's an unfortunate thing when your product is in FC processing. The biggest thing that is good here is that your product did not get put into stranded inventory. If it was in stranded inventory, that's a little bit more of a pain to just deal with. You can usually just reconnect it to the ASIN, but if it's a brand new one, you have to get relabeled, all of that jazz. So what I would suggest here, again, just open a case with Amazon, ask them to push forward on the product and make sure that it gets transferred soon enough or sooner rather than later, and you should be good to go from there. Perfect, guys. Give me a second here. Hope everyone's having a very good Friday today. It's a good day around here. We've had some good weather up here in Michigan. I'm enjoying it. Ali, how you doing, sir? It's good to see you back every single week. Do you run any alcohol brand accounts? If so, how do you import into Amazon EU? I don't. I've never actually worked with an alcohol selling client before. From my knowledge, I don't think you can. I thought at the end of the day, the Amazon banned and restricted most alcohol. I think you can get special exceptions for the Amazon like Whole Foods and everything, where they will deliver straight from a store. But from my knowledge, I thought it was a restricted category just for selling. I think there are some EU exceptions, like you say here, but no, I've never worked with one. And from my knowledge, you're not able to actually sell. So, Lisette, how's it going? I have a question regarding indexing. If you want to index if you want index to keywords that you are in position 2050 organically, should you support your SEO efforts with PPC? Yeah, absolutely. So, and I think you have a separate section. In other words, should I run separate campaigns just with these new keywords so that I accelerate the ranking process and move into position 1 to 19? Yeah, so essentially, yes. If you are looking to index and rank on keywords, advertising is going to be your best friend. The reason for that is you have to add them and you have to get the sales on those keywords to be able to start ranking on them. So yes, you want to push those keywords in your advertising efforts because your product will then show up via typing in, let's say, balloons you're trying to rank on. Cool. Now you can put balloons on your advertising, top of search. Someone searches balloons, they click on it. Now you're ranking and indexing for balloons. So absolutely, if you are looking to try and get indexed and ranked faster, PPC is going to help you out a ton with that. So put your keyword rankings in there and go from there. Matthew, how's it going, sir? Hi, Noah. I'm interested as to your take on this one. Normally, you can have a number of SKUs per ASIN. We have one specific ASIN FBA that whenever you add a new SKU, the FBA stock figures automatically get allocated to the new SKU. If you delete any of the SKUs for that ASIN, it affects all the others to the point it will even strand your inventory. You also cannot change any of them back to seller fulfilled. Nothing happens. They just remain FBA with stock tied to the SKU. Thoughts? Interesting. I'm not sure if that one, I'm going to take this down because it's a huge one. I'm not sure if that's one I've actually encountered before. Now that I'm thinking about it and just reading over it again, ASIN, whenever you add a new SKU, FBA stock figures automatically get allocated. So yeah, I've seen the automatic allocation before to inventory and new SKUs on a listing. What you may be doing here, so you may be accidentally merging two different ASINs into one SKU. I've seen that happen before, and then obviously your inventory gets hit. The other thing here is check your UPCs. If you are accidentally using the UPC, even if, for instance, it is a multi-pack, doing like 1 versus a 4-pack, you can run into that problem when you are adding on those new ASINs. So what I would suggest, check those UPCs, make sure everything's golden clear there. And then on top of that, for the deletion, it affects all the others. That one's kind of interesting to me for the stranded inventory. That does, to me, say that it's a UPC issue / if you're not using UPCs for your identifier, could just be an FNSKU, and you're probably merging the listings on accident. You could, if this is also a variation issue, I should say, look at breaking the parentage, do a delete relist, and then when you do the relist, add your new products in as well. Make sure all of the inventory, everything is completely separate on everything, and there's no way that it can be two. And from there, if you're still having issues, open up a seller support case. I know seller support kind of sucks at answering questions, but they can definitely help you with something like this and give you the exact reasoning. But again, it sounds very much like you are just having your ASIN identifiers the exact same, which if that's the case, you can't have that. Yeah, that's why your inventory would be getting merged like that. Okay. Jacob, how's it going, sir? 2 of my ASINs, both different products, got merged by Amazon. Hey, we were just talking about that. They are now one ASIN. FBA stock got mingled. How can I undo this, and how can I get my FBA stock back in separate SKUs? Okay, so unmerging merged ASINs. This is one of those areas where it's kind of a gamble. Once you merge ASINs, they're supposed to stay merged. And it's pretty difficult to get them back. So first and foremost, you need to open a case on this. That's going to be just your first and foremost thing. They're going to tell you need to go through all these steps to do this. The biggest thing is I would delete the merged one and wait 24 hours, wait for that, and then do a relist with your other ASINs. So try and unmerge them essentially by recreating both ASINs. From that point, you should be able to have both listings. If you do not, and this is a big if, because again, usually when you merge, you're not supposed to unmerge any ASINs, but big if there. From there, I would look at getting the FBA stock tied to only one, and have your FBA stock specifically tied to the FN SKU. Not your regular SKU, not your UPC, but your FN SKU. And if you have to, something you can I see here you're saying the back in separate SKUs. Yeah, you need to have them do a relabel. The unfortunate part here with the stock is that more than likely you might end up having to take it out of FBA inventory and then relabel it. It's just an unfortunate thing. But that's one of the major issues here when you do this type of merge, is that you're essentially taking that FN SKU, you're taking that UPC, and you're merging them together. And you're saying, hey, all of this is the same exact product. Amazon is going to look at that and say, oh, yeah, all of this is the same exact product as well. So you can also, what you can do is have a bin check on all of it and say, hey, are there any separators there, and make sure they separate that inventory. Seen some use cases where that works, but again, start with the unmerging, see if you can get that done, and then follow up with the bin checks and the relabeling if needed. The big thing with the relabeling as well, just quick tip, I don't trust Amazon all the time with the relabeling. That's why I say you should probably pull the inventory out and then do it yourself. Okay. Ali, you're welcome, sir. I'm glad to see you here every week. It's good to get the questions from you. I'm doing very well as well. PPC optimization is on weekly base is good for the base of search query performance. Yeah. I actually typically recommend doing PPC optimizations probably every 2 or 3 days. You need at least 48 hours of data, usually 72, before you can even say whether or not something needs to change. I see some people being like, you should do your optimizations daily. And it's like, no, you're not going to have enough data ever unless you are getting 1 million plus impressions a day to where you're going to be able to say if the change that you made is going to be good for the optimization. So absolutely 2 to 3 days, typically standard rule, check every 3 days, 72 hours, go from there. Carlos, hola. Unfortunately, I do not speak Espanol. I am in the process of taking Spanish lessons. So sooner than later, I am hoping to reach all of our Spanish audience members. So unfortunately not, Carlos. I apologize. Yesterday, my client sales was down. I checked Hijacker is available now. What is your suggestion? Sometime Amazon is available as a hijacker on listing. What is your suggestions? Thanks for that. I don't think I'm the best out there, but I'm glad you think so. All right. So hijackers on Amazon. Everyone hates them. It's something you constantly have to deal with. It sounds like you're saying Amazon is the hijacker at this point, which if Amazon's the hijacker, that usually just means that it's FBA inventory that got reclaimed by them at some point and they're just trying to get rid of it. No, that's what that typically is. If not, you have a issue with someone doing vendor central, which pretty rare that happens. But for hijackers in general, you want to make sure to do a few things. File a case with brand registry and a case with seller support. You want to identify what the name of the other seller is. Make sure if you see them selling it, you order product from that seller. That is going to be the best way to fight a hijacker always, is to order that product, have that come to you, and be able to show seller support and brand registry, hey, this guy's selling the product and it's very clearly not my product, as you can see. So that's where I would start. Open those cases, order that product if you can from them, go from there. Let's see here. Hello, Noah. Hello, Marvin. A short introduction to the German marketplace. The flat file was downloaded by the person himself and filled out with the only Amazon account that exists. There is no second account. When uploading the flat file, the error message, you are not authorized to update the account that created this file. Download a new flat file for the marketplace sites and try again. And I feel like there's going to be a third part to your question. Let's wait. I'll come back to this, Marvin, if you get the third part in, unless Alan on our back end, if you see it, just flag me for it, please. But let's see here. Pro Hall, glad to see you back. Let's see. Hi, thanks for all your info. I did not have enough inventory in stock, therefore my ranking was destroyed. How can I get it back? Just PPC? Oh, getting back your ranking. Yeah, it's just going to be the same exact process you did to get it there. Staying in stock is always going to be your number one thing. You need to stay in stock is the number one sin on Amazon to get out of stock. So yeah, just focus on your advertising, focus on getting your sales back. Same exact way you did getting there, right? It's just going to be a little bit harder of an uphill battle. I would focus a lot on your competitor targeting around that area and around where your ranking was. The good part of this is that if it was sometime recently, Amazon takes about 180-day range, sometimes only a 90-day range when it comes to ranking and sales and everything. So if you've you're still kind of fitting in that window with your ranking on your keywords and everything else, you should have a fairly easy time getting back. Just focus on your advertising, focus on your top leading keywords, and then also add some competitor campaigns in there as well. You could also, if you have the kind of budget and want to go for it, go for sponsor display and sponsor brand. Try and get your brand name to grow a little bit more so that you get your organic up. Too many people focus heavily on advertising when trying to get back into ranking. It's going to be a lot better in the long run if you can keep around a 10% tacos, let's say, for both your growth from a brand perspective and everything else moving forward. So hope that helps, bro. All right. Let's go for Abdul. Helium 10 is showing sales on keywords in magnet, I would assume. So what is the ratio of right data? I have data dive. I'm thinking Helium 10 and product opportunity explorer brand analytics is more good. Yeah. So it's funny enough, I actually did an entire kind of deep dive analysis on data dive versus Helium 10 just yesterday, even. Currently speaking, I love data dive. I think it's great for what it does. Same thing with Helium. I think it's great for what it does. Yeah, for what you're trying to do here, Abdullah, I would say that stick with Magnet, stick with the product opportunity explorer. If you're looking for new products and that's your thing, Helium's going to probably be better for you than Data Dive when it comes to just finding product opportunities to sell. And if that's really what you're trying to do there, then yeah, I would stick with those. Let's see. Have we gotten Marvin's other question? I don't think so. All good. Gregor, hi. When trying to add a variation to a parent, it does not let me put the ASIN. It's giving me the error 8541. I think we just covered this error actually. Now I'm thinking about it. 8541. Let me make sure of this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we did actually just cover this error, but nonetheless, but if I put the UPC, it goes through. Is it okay if I use the UPC instead of ASIN? Yeah, so that's completely fine. The reason you're getting this error is because you're not utilizing the UPC. So you need to match UPCs on ASINs. And then I'll share my screen for 8541 for those that don't know. So I'll pull this up real quick. So here is error 8541. So the primary thing, again, and anytime you have an error code, guys, best advice that I can give for anyone having an error code, just do it in the search bar. Amazon has an article for literally every single error code. There's a reason I can't remember every single one when you guys bring it up, just because, again, there's a million of them. That being said, the big thing with error code 8541 is that you're not matching the UPC to the ASIN correctly. So when you're uploading that, absolutely go by your UPC. That's going to be your best bet if you're trying to make major changes, as you want to match that UPC and that ASIN together, right? So you can add both them in, but absolutely, yeah, your issue here was just that you weren't matching the UPC correctly. So that's all it is. All righty here. Let's go. Abdul, just all the questions say, huh, sir? I have auto campaign, which is very best with 13 ACOS. So my question is, auto performance is demand on product listing or title. Auto campaigns are just demand on the product listing. So they focus on essentially automatic targeting on Amazon. I'm not, entirely positive what Amazon's algorithm is, because it's Amazon's algorithm for an auto campaign. That being said, auto campaigns are absolutely a crucial part of your advertising strategy when growing a listing or an ASIN. A lot of people try and do only auto campaigns or only manual targeting. I think that's, baloney. You should absolutely be focusing on a good, healthy mix when it comes to the different campaigns that you're running. So check into that and whatnot. But 13% ACOS on auto campaign, absolutely fine in my book, if you say so. Ahmad, I currently have a listing with 2 color variations. I'm updating the package without making any changes to the product itself, which will result in changes to the product dimensions and weight. I need to create a new shipping plan for the updated packaging and to update the listing with the new weight and dimensions. keeping in mind that I have existing stock with the old packaging. How can I make this change smoothly without encountering any issues? Okay, so when you're updating your packaging on Amazon, so a lot of people do this in a multitude of different ways. One way that I actually like doing it, and this is just because you can, is essentially doing what is considered to be like a version 2, right? You can almost create a brand new ASIN, and for this brand new ASIN, say that this is a version 2 of your existing product, put that out there, and then parent those two products together, and boom, now you have a version 1 with the old packaging, version 2 with the new packaging. Secondary option here is let Amazon know. Let Amazon know that you've updated your packaging, open that case log and everything. But the big thing is, as long as you are connected via your correct identifier, you shouldn't have a ton of issues here. Yes, you can have different packaging, product packaging updates all the time. That's not going to be really the biggest issue in the world. Since you're dealing with here the two color variations, I know you're saying you're not making changes to the product itself. Yeah, so the actual version 2 doesn't really make a ton of sense. But the big thing still is that you have essentially this change in dimensions and weight, right? So focus there. That's the big thing. That still is enough to technically create a new ASIN if you want to, and have a version 1, 2. That technically would open you up to the honeymoon period as well, which could help you. But again, I would probably just focus on having it sent back into Amazon. They will update, and slowly but surely you will have your inventory run out. I'd really wait until your current inventory is really close to running out before sending in this new inventory. And that way you can essentially not have any of these issues. So hope that helps. All right, let's see here. Give me 1 second here, guys. All this talking dries out the throat, Let's keep it moving. I'm still not seeing. It doesn't look like Marvin ever really finished his question. Okay. We got Mr. Brandon Ruffliners. Howdy. Hey, sir. How's it going? Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Jacob, I'm trying to update my images in Amazon France through country-specific image upload for one of my ASINs. For this particular ASIN, the images do not get updated. I have no idea how I can make this. All right, so when you're doing country-specific, that's fine and dandy. What sounds more like, if you're having issues with your images actually updating, sounds like your listing itself is not updating. One, you need to open a case with Amazon, let them know about this, that the listing images are not updating on the back end. Just give them a call. It's going to be the easiest way to go about it. And then on top of that, make sure you're doing a full update and not partial update for the images. Don't just do the images themselves. Do a full update of the listing, include the new images, and make sure that you are fully overwriting any of the previous data. Even if you're not changing the title, if you're not changing the bullets, anything else, just the images, just do a full update via flat file. It's going to be your easiest way to make sure you don't have any issues. So there you go. Let's see here. Rosina, welcome back. Happy Friday. Am I in breach of Amazon terms of service if I offer a repeat purchase discount coupon code inside product inserts to buyers? And can I send coupon codes via Amazon messaging to existing buyers? Yeah. Okay. This is a great question. Amazon has a lot of different services or different terms when it comes to doing anything insert wise into the product packaging. So the things that you mainly want to stay away from on Amazon is, one, trying to ask for reviews and guiding people away from reviews. So that's the big thing when it comes to inserts to not do. Don't do something along the lines of, hey, if you like my product, leave me a 5-star review. If you don't like it, give us a call. Don't ask for reviews and don't give free things away for reviews. So the repeat purchase discount coupon code, not bad. Theoretically, as long as it's Amazon's own system for coupon codes, I don't see a major issue with that. Now, what I would probably do instead, and this is actually something that just got released. So I think this would be a really, really great idea for you to do. Something here, if you go create coupon, they have actually added the ability for reorder coupons, even for non-branded customers. So even if you have a third-party seller items, anything like that, you can do reorder. On top of that, they actually recently added brand coupons. So similar to brand tailored promotions, you can now do brand tailored coupons. So this is something I would look into. I like your idea about the insert and trying to get people to reorder and repurchase the product. Not a bad idea. I would not send that via Amazon messaging. You are going to send way too many messages and you're going to get banned from doing Amazon messaging. But what I would do is absolutely do some brand tailored coupons. You can do things such as, recent customers and repeat customers. That's going to be a big one for you. Add those coupons on there, and guess what? Now they have a 10%, 20% coupon. It's automatically applied rather than them having to put a coupon code in. So absolutely look at this. I think this would be much better than kind of what you're talking about. I am not a huge fan of messing around when it comes to coupon codes or reviews or anything like that when it comes to the inserts, because I've seen some horror stories. So hope that helps, Rosina. Let's see here. Kim, hey, how's it going? What sources do you use to create master keyword list for products that have been on a market for years? Or do you just use Helium 10 Cerebro with main competitors, limited keywords for niche products? Yeah, we actually do a few different things. So yes, Helium 10 is going to be our primary there. That's the one that we're going to use for pretty much all of it. Cerebro is great. Another one you can look into, I think we were just talking about a little bit earlier, is Data Dive. We use Data Dive a lot of times to just kind of get a new feel of how the market is doing with competitors. So Data Dive is going to be really great for that. Absolutely. I think you should utilize them. And then on top of that, look at your search query performance. Look at your market basket analysis. Those are going to be areas right inside Amazon that are going to give you a lot of data. It's going to give you a lot of relevancy as to where your product currently is. So actually, well, I'll do real quick. So I'll pull this up just to kind of show you what that looks like. But let's see if this account has it before I do that. This account doesn't have it. So instead, yeah, what I would probably do though is look at your search query performance, look at your market, basket analysis, and go from there. But Helium 10 Cerebro, great. Data Dive, that's the other one I would highly recommend. It's going to help you with some, long tail keywords for getting more relevancy. And then on top of that, like I said, search query performance and market basket analysis. Ali, where are you from? I'm from Michigan. Born and raised here. I enjoy it here. It's cold all the time for some reason. I'm still here. Great place though. Love it here. Ahmad, how's it going? I also plan to update the product design by enhancing its features, changing its appearance. So shall I follow the same technique which you mentioned? Yeah, if you're going to do a new packaging, new product version 2 on Amazon, absolutely create a new ASIN, new listing for that product, and take advantage of the fact that it is technically a different product. It's a different product with different features. You can launch it as a version 2 to your current product, have the honeymoon period all over again for the product, which is going to get you more reviews. It's going to get you more sales increase and ranking increase. And then on top of that, you now have essentially a parentage you can put together for both of those products. And eventually, if you want to, you could merge them and boom, you got all your reviews and everything. So hope that helps. Ooh, I'm going to go to this. I'm going to skip over to this one real quick from Rough Liners. We'll make insert with QR code to product video for instructions and have customers sign up for warranty. The idea is to improve the customer experience and retarget customers in future. Okay. So this kind of goes back a little bit to what Kim, I think it was Kim was saying. No, Rosina. So yeah, so this is a really, really kind of good thing to do. The video QR code instructions, absolutely fine. Signing up for a warranty, totally fine. Amazon's fine with warranties at the end of the day. No issues there. Again, the big thing we want to stay away from is doing anything to do with like, hey, give us a review, or hey, just call us, or even worse, I've seen people put, for instance, like their own emails and phone numbers outside of Amazon and say, hey, like, don't contact us through Amazon if you have any issues, just contact us, right? Don't do any of that. But what you're saying here, Rough Liners, great. Brandon, I think that's fantastic. And then, yeah, same thing kind of goes in line with the question we had just a little bit ago. Just stay away from anything with that and you'll be good to go. Let's see here. Make sure to throw all those questions in, guys. We're going to take a little short break. Hold on. And for those of you who are just now joining us and kind of wondering what's all up with this, my name is Noah Wickham. I'm brand director here at My Amazon Guy. I am live every single Friday at 12 Eastern to answer any and all Amazon-related questions and just, chit-chat with you guys. So if you have any Amazon questions, you want an ASIN review, you want to, just know what's going on in the Amazon space with some news, I'm here to talk about it, here to answer anything, and hopefully guide you a little bit, make your life a little bit easier as we all are facing Amazon. It's us versus Amazon. So let's go to Kim. How's it going, Kim? Again, brand tailored promotions can be created for a 90-day period, but is it smarter to create new brand promotions for 30-day period or less because would reach new audience? Yeah, so I'm going to go over brand tailored promotions and then also brand tailored coupons, just to give you a little bit insight into both. So first and foremost, let's touch on brand tailored promotions. So if we go over to brand tailored promotions, everyone's probably been here at some point or another. We can create a new one. We'll just choose one of these ones here. We're not eligible for any right now. Totally fine. So the brand cart abandoners is for 90 days. What this means is a lot of this garners your targets over the course of that time period. So it's 275 targets in the last 90 days who abandoned cart. When you are looking at doing the length of a brand tailored promotion, that is largely to do with how long you want it to run. 30 days, that's fine. I have seen, people do brand tailored promotions just constantly. I would typically say run them for 30 to 45 days and then just create a new one. There is nothing that's going to stop you from creating new ones as soon as you have new targets in. Something that a lot of people don't know about brand tailored promotions is that all of these numbers that they are listing are different people. So no same person can be in these different audience. So you can't have, for instance, brand followers be in the same audience as potential new customers, or promising and potential new customers will be completely separate. Same thing with recent and repeat. So these two will also be completely separate individuals. So it's a total of 92 different people instead of 40 and then an extra 12. So that's brand tailored promotions. 30 to 45 days, good run rate. But as soon as a new one opens up, you can just create it and you can run them simultaneously. It will not have an effect. They're not going to go on top of each other like other ones would. Now the difference there, brand tailored coupons. Let's touch on that because we just touched on it a second ago, but brand tailored coupons are a little different. I'm really happy about these. I think these are really, really cool. Same exact concept as brand tailored promotions. You can have all of your different audience types. And actually there's one new one, which I think is really cool, which is the brand cart abandoner 7 days. So we showed the 90 days, which they do have here. So that's everyone in 90 days. This is now for 7 days. So you can actually target as quickly as someone who has abandoned the cart in the last 7 days, which I think is really, really cool because you could run that one simultaneously while trying to run, something such as like a promising and a repeat customers and top tier. So super, super cool to do this. A few things on this. This will overlap with any other promotions. Coupons and promotions do overlap with each other. So someone could theoretically have a strike through price on, if you have a strike through price for 10%, you have a promotion for 10%, and then you also have a coupon for 10%. You can end up being at 30% there discount. So coupons themselves are between 5 and 50%. everything else can stack on top of that. So just keep that in mind when creating these. But absolutely, 30 days, totally fine. 45 days is good as well. And, do as many as you can. I always am trying to push for brand tailored promotions constantly on accounts, because if you're looking at the aspect of it's just a flat 10% tacos at the end of the day. So let's see here. Rosina, do you recommend any Amazon tools that are AI driven for PPC management? No, not really. I primarily believe in manual PPC optimization. I don't really like the whole, software side of things. I think software is nice for some things when it comes to PPC and definitely needed. But at the end of the day, you don't need it. It's not something that's absolutely necessary. I know some people definitely disagree with that. Some people definitely want only software to do their PPC and like swear by it. I think it really just depends on what you have had success with. I've had great success with doing my own advertising and then also doing manual advertising for clients without any software involved whatsoever. So we don't use any here software wise for PPC optimizations. We do it all in-house, all manual. So if that's something you're interested in, sign up with us. Okay, we're running low on questions, guys. Let's see some more in here. We got this one. Miles, how's it going? After getting PPC optimized, my sales started improving. Great. Love to hear that. I'm now going to be out of stock before my next inventory comes in. Is it better to raise price and slow down PPC or run out of inventory? Absolutely raise your price. Raise it right now. While I am talking to you on this live stream, go and raise your price. Do not run out of inventory. Running out of inventory is the most critical sin you can have on Amazon. They are not very nice about it. Absolutely go raise your price. You can pull back on PPC, but what I would do, raise your price 10% right now. See if it really has much of an impact on sales volume. And guess what? If it doesn't have an impact and people are still buying it really fast, you're just making 10% more now. Wait a little bit, raise it another 10% if need be. And then slow down again on PPC. Guess what? If people are still buying it, fantastic. You are now making 20% more than you would have otherwise. And it gives you a little bit more that you can do in the future once you're back in stock. So absolutely right now, while you are watching this, go raise your price. Do it. There is no harm in it. It may slow your sales down, but guess what? It's better than being out of stock. So hope that helps, Miles. Let's see here. Amazon changed my logistic fees from $13. I required Cubiscan and my measures were smaller, so new fees were $8. And today again, I found $13 fees and they changed it again. Ask for the Cubiscan again and reference back to the previous case. It's a very, very, very consistent thing on Amazon. A lot of times when this is happening, they are taking the dimensional weight of the product. And they are just seeing that, for instance, if I were to have this mug, if I had this mug in a box and the box is out here, but then there's a plastic bag that goes out to here, Amazon's going to try and count this as the area. So the big thing there, just Cubiscan again, it's a real pain in the butt to have to constantly do it. But absolutely, if you can save, especially $5 per unit on fees, do it. Do it 9 times out of 10. That's going to be awesome for you. Okay. Let's see here. Marvin, all good, sir. I was waiting to see when you would get back. Feel free to send it in whenever, and we will. I'll go back through and whatnot, and read it and trying to get you the answer I can. So, Miles, you're welcome. Absolutely, go change that. I think that's great. All right, guys, we're running questions here. Maybe I'm just speed running today. Could that be the potential? I don't know. Let's do this real quick. Throw some more questions in there. I will get to them slowly but surely. And in the meantime, let's do this. Let me pull up Amazon and we're going to go through some news. Oh, never mind. We'll do this one first, and then we'll do some news. I'm doing FBA from Spain and USA, so my refund products are destroyed by Amazon. Is there any other better way to get some money back? Not really, unfortunately. If you can't have the products sent back to you because you're doing it from Spain, and it would just be too expensive otherwise, no. You could try and have Amazon do the what is it? Not refurbished, but try and have Amazon sell the product off at pennies on the dollar, if that, typically. But no, unfortunately not. You could always try and have it sent back to a 3PL warehouse outside of Amazon, have it repackaged and then sent back in. But reality is that'll probably end up being way more expensive than it is to just have it destroyed, unfortunately. So let's see. All right. Let's go through some Amazon news. There's some interesting things to cover real quick. And one of them being, we already went over the brand tailored coupons, but something I want to talk about for supplement people out there. Let's do this. There we go. I will zoom in here a little bit for everyone because I'm blind. So there is that. There's some changes to dietary supplement policy on Amazon. So Amazon is currently changing how you are going to be able to do compliance for any supplement products. This is an interesting thing. Supplement clients are something we work with heavily here at My Amazon Guy. There have been a lot of changes recent months for compliance on supplements. A lot of people getting deactivated, a lot of people having issues. The biggest thing that I'm seeing with this is that Amazon is trying to control the process. Amazon wants to make sure that if you are getting your documentation, they can easily get the documentation as well, refer back to it and say, hey, this is not correct, not right. You're in the wrong here. A big thing for this is essentially going to the compliance dashboard, but more so, Amazon just now has all of this on their seller support. So you can go through, look at who is on Amazon's recommended list for working with, and do all of your compliance through them now. It's pretty much all of the major compliance companies anyways that you would get your testing certification at. But nonetheless, now it is within Amazon as a part of their friendly ecosystem. So makes things a lot easier. Something I'm kind of interested in at the very least. Awesome. What is the best Amazon ads types for organic ranking? Sponsored product, sponsored brand, sponsored display. It's a pretty easy question to answer. The best one is just going to be sponsored product. The reason for that is because sponsored brand, sponsored display are two different. They're both towards trying to grow your brand, right? They're about brand presence, whereas sponsored product is going to be about product presence. So when doing a sponsored product campaign, you're targeting specific keywords, right? And what is organic ranking based off of, but keywords mostly, and sales, of course, and relevancy, all of the above. But to help with all of that, you want to advertise against those keywords, and then boom, you are now going to have more organic ranking towards them. So hopefully that helps. We're running out of questions here, guys. We don't have any current ones unless I'm missing any in here. So let's dive back into news. There's a few other things I wanted to kind of talk about as well in the news. One of them being, let me pull this up for you guys real quick. This one, oh, no, we got one more question. Rosina, currently a PL seller in USA. If I sell my brand products in UK via a local company / seller in UK, will reviews in UK and USA be combined? No. Different marketplaces, different reviews. So you can have them technically combined in, I believe, North America, but for different marketplaces, it's going to be different, unfortunately. So pretty simple one there, though. All right, let's look at this. So more Amazon news coming out here. This one's kind of interesting to me. And it's Amazon specifically talking about counterfeit, fraud, and other forms of abuse. So they are essentially patting themselves on the back here, talking about their new brand protection report, how much they're able to invest into this, and what they are trying to do to, stop counterfeit. It's funny because we have talked about no less than 4 different hijacking incidents on today's Q&A alone, but how is this really going to help us moving forward? I think that it will get a little bit easier. I think Chinese hijackers are going to be a little bit more rare here. I think that in general, this may be good for the seller. I'm still hesitant because typically when Amazon releases something, it's not for the seller, right? It's going to be for the end consumer. So I feel that they are going to be much more looking at the actual product and saying, hey, does it matter? Is the end consumer upset about the counterfeit rather than the seller? So is this going to help sellers with stopping hijackers, anything like that? Probably not yet, but we will see down the road. Okay, a couple more questions coming in, guys. Here we go. Nathaniel, I ran out of inventory over 6 months ago. Should I look for a new product or try to jump back in swinging? Or could I do the redifferentiate method you mentioned with the new Mason? You could do the redifferentiate method. That's essentially what you're talking about with the get a new product. If you ran out of inventory, I would be kind of curious to know why didn't you order more, right? So when you run out of inventory or are going to run out of inventory, you usually do that because you're selling a product and selling it well. So I'd be curious, but redifferentiate is great. Something I would look up if you actually look up on my Amazon Guys YouTube channel, which you're on right now, reviving a dead product. Watch that video. It's great. Stephen talks all about what to do for reviving dead products. And then from there, one of the things I see in the comments here, Rough Liars, Brandon, is it profitable? That's a big thing. That's what matters here. Is the product profitable? Why did you run out of stock in the first place? You ran out because I learned a hard, expensive lesson with PPC. Yes, don't we all? We have all ran into and had a hard expensive lesson with PPC at some point or another. But yeah, you can revive it. The thing that I would watch out for if you did learn that expensive lesson with PPC is that expensive lesson going to be the normal, or was that just a lesson to be learned? The biggest thing here is sell what you want. If you think it's going to sell, you think it's going to do well, absolutely list it. You're going to have to, fight uphill battle for this, but you can definitely do a redifferentiation if you have a different product. Do a relaunch, and then boom, you now have essentially a honeymoon period all over again, and you can have new products essentially. So there you go. All right. Let's see. Random Facebook user. Just for everyone's reference, we do stream on Facebook and Instagram as well. I always suggest if you are going to leave a comment there or a question there, come on over to the YouTube. It's going to be a lot easier for you to get the comments in and get them read. And it's not just going to say Facebook user or anything like that. And on Instagram, I don't believe we can actually push that to our YouTube just yet. So if you are on Instagram right now, come on over to the YouTube and we'll answer your question. Amazon has been adding more fees such as placement, etc. Can you throw some tips in how to save money in this platform in general? Thanks. AWD, that's what we have right now. AWD, send as much product in as possible. Do not have low stock at any point in time, low inventory. Send in lots of product, pallets loads of product at once. AWD, it's not going to be the catch-all that everyone thinks it is, but it is kind of the next best thing when it comes to, whether or not that's going to make sense for everyone. Depends on how much you're selling at the end of the day, unfortunately, to avoid the placement fee. But AWD is kind of the general consensus of recommendation. I think it's Amazon just trying to push everyone into all of these third-party warehouses that they purchased years ago and haven't made use of. But nonetheless, go with AWD if you sell enough. If you sell a ton, just send in more all at once, and then avoid any issues with it in general. And on top of that, avoid any low inventory fees. Just don't run out of inventory, people. That seems to be the general consensus of the live today. Don't run out of inventory. All right, Marvin, you finally got your questions in. Let's hit it, sir. A short intro. The problem is for German marketplace. Don't know if it's relevant. Maybe. It depends. The Amazon seller could not change an attribute in Seller Central, so I told him to change it with flat file. The flat file was downloaded by a seller himself and filled out by a seller. He is the only account. When he is uploading the flat file, comes an error message. You are not authorized to update the account that created this file. Download a new flat file for multiple marketplace sites and try again. What option do we have to solve the problem? I'd be curious what error code it is, Marvin. And I could probably help you a little bit more there. I don't think I've ever actually ran into that one before. You can always send an email as well to podcastmyamazonguy.com with screenshots, more info, things like that. I'm happy to get back to you on it. I believe, though, if I'm not mistaken on what you're saying, uploading via flat file, and you said that he is, let's look at this message. He is the owner. Yeah, so he's the owner. Seller himself, fill out from seller. He might be uploading in the wrong section, to be entirely honest. I would be curious if you can send some screenshots, Marvin, to the email that was just listed, podcastmyamazonguy.com. I'm happy to answer and dig into this deeper for you. I haven't ran this one specifically. Usually when someone's not authorized to do an update, it sounds like he's trying to do multi-marketplace updates via flat file, which if that's the case, he has the wrong file. That's just an issue in of itself, and he needs to download the correct file to update everything. So let me know if that is the problem, but please reach out. I love this kind of question. I'd love to dig into this to be able to learn more about it. Let's see here. Nathaniel, oh, they ran out. Lazat, good to see you. Rosanna, when adding the products in UK, add them with ASIN, not UPC. That way your review will carry over. Yeah, that's a great way to do it as well, Lazat. If you do want that review to carry over, you need to essentially recreate that entire product, not via the ASIN, because the ASINs, or not via the UPC, via the ASIN, because the ASINs are separate in the different marketplaces. So absolutely, that's a great call out there, Liz. I didn't even think of that. Oh, we have Mr. Tom Fitzgibbons. Miss you, sir. I miss you so much. We need to connect at some point in time. Tom used to be a great member, great director here at My Amazon Guy. Great to see you here, sir. Let's see. Was AWD? Ooh, I haven't gotten this question yet. I've been waiting. Let's search this up. Let's get this real quick. Give me 1 second here, guys, and I will show you exactly what AWD is. Here we go. All right. AWD, Amazon Warehousing and Distribution, AWD. Essentially, AWD is Amazon's version of a 3PL. So what it means is that you can send inventory to the warehouse. It is not going to be fulfilled from the warehouse. It is just for storage. The reason that they have this is primarily just because they have a ton of warehouses that they're not doing anything with. But the point of it is that you don't have your inbound placement fee with it, and you can keep it. And it's typically going to be around the same price as storage for FBA fees, but you don't have the inbound placement, and you can send a lot more there than you would be able to for your FBA warehouses. So send inventory here. It's going to be a little bit cheaper. And then when you are ready to send inventory into FBA for fulfillment, you can send it direct from AWD to FBA with no extra charge. So AWD, I think it's good. Again, is it the auto catch-all that everyone thinks it is? No. But it definitely solves a lot of problems, just not all the ones we would like it to solve. Yeah, easier said than done. Struggling growing in inventory. Definitely. What means when I get a lot of orders done by Amazon? What do you mean? Done by Amazon. So I would assume you mean like fulfilled by Amazon, or I don't know. I guess try and reword the question. But if you're saying when it's fulfilled by Amazon, that's just fulfilled by Amazon. Okay, I think that can be the issue with the marketplaces. We'll let you know the results of it. Yeah, no, of course, Marvin. Again, I would love some screenshots of it. I would love to see exact error codes and everything and help you out here, which actually leads me into another thing for you guys, which is, give me 2 seconds here. If you guys are ever interested, I do these Friday live Q&As every single week to try and answer as many questions as I can. I can't get to every single question though, and I really can't dig into an account like I would be able to otherwise. But if you're ever looking for myself or someone else to, My Amazon Guy, has coaching services. I am on the coaching page. Feel free to go to myamazonguy.com/book a coaching call anytime. You can schedule with me. You can schedule with another one of our directors, Kristen, and also for a limited time, you can schedule and ask Steve a question. He's currently sick right now, so his throat is a little sore, so he's mainly doing the questions via email, but you can always ask him directly as well. So always happy to hop on a call with someone. I love doing coaching calls. It's one of my favorite things. Love doing this and answering all these questions. So if you're ever interested, book some time. Get on my calendar. It'd be a good time. Let's see here. Was that? Does it make sense to improve organic rank on keywords that are best performing in PPC, i.e. edit your SEO copy with best performing PPC data? Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. If you have keywords on your PPC that are like your best performing ones, typically speaking, if they're your best performing, I would also check your tacos against those keywords specifically, see how you're doing. But yeah, add them into your copy. The thing, if you don't already have them there, you're indexed, right? And you're ranking for them, but I'd be kind of curious as to why you don't, right? Are they relevant? How are they currently doing on your regular? But overall, yeah, you can. If they already are really high ranking and index on your listing, you don't have to add them in at the end of the day. But, the PPC there is definitely going to help you. So hope that helps. Let's see here. Awesome. Let's see. What was your best strategy for launching period? High bid or more keyword? For launching period with your PPC? So typically speaking, you're going to want to have a broad range of different targets, right? So you want to do sponsored product. You want to do both exact, broad, and phrase all at once when you first launch. And then on top of that, high bid, yes, you can. A good thing, if you can spend more on your PPC at launch, do it. That's always going to help you. And then definitely have all of your primary, most relevant keywords. I see people all the time. They're like, yeah, I know what my primary relevancy keyword is. No. Go into Helium, go through, look at your competitor analysis, Cerebro, go look at everything and do a reverse product lookup, look at what your keyword rankings should be, add your top competitor keywords into your advertising and try and outbid them. Absolutely. I think that's kind of going to be your best way to go about it. And then you have a second one here, Hassam. What is your ideal keyword count as per campaign? I like to keep it under 10 typically. The best thing in the world for a campaign, if you really can do it, keep it small, keep it short. 3 to 5 is totally fine. 5 to 7, totally fine. Under 10, absolutely. Unless you're doing like a gold panning campaign, go wild with gold panning campaigns. But typically speaking, you want to segment keywords as much as possible. The best campaign in the world is if you can have a campaign that has a single keyword in it. You can just optimize the crap out of that. Great. But I typically, like I said, would try and stick around that 3 to 5 range. Under 10 is preferred for everything. Okay, guys. Couple of more questions here, and then we are going to wrap up here today. Let's see. Jordan Lee. Any tips for generating hype around a new launch for an existing brand new product? Yeah, I guess not exactly a tip here, but one thing that is kind of interesting, and I will pull this up real quick, but Amazon recently launched a new feature that I think will be kind of good for you here. So if we go over to, let's do this one. Here we go. All right. So if you go to your brand stores, something you can do, go to your See Insights on the brand stores and look at your insights for your brand store analytics. You can now also look at things such as your engagement, which is the actual new feature here. I think this is a super, super cool feature for exactly what you're talking about. And the reason I say it's super cool is because what I have been wanting to test so much as possible, really, is changing your brand store. If you get 400 views and you get 58 clicks, which great click-through percentage, right? Change your brand store to try and add your newest product near the top or wherever it is your top clicked product. So for instance, this one right here, is the top click product. It seems a little weird right now because we have a 1,200% click-through rate, but you know what I'm saying. Wherever that is placed on your brand store, try and place your new product in it. That's going to be best. And then on top of that, outside of that, do new or sponsored product. If you're asking specific for things such as like what to do on the listing, you can always do stuff such as the new variation stuff that I was talking about earlier. Add it to a parentage. Make sure it's very clear that it's a V2, and then go from there. So a lot of that's going to come down to your imagery. Just make it very known that you have a new product. Add it to every single product you can. Make bundles with it. That's going to be a really big thing. And then from there as well, I love this new brand store engagement. Try and utilize that to push if you have people going to your brand store. But from an advertising perspective, top of search is going to be your best bet there. And then you could do a sponsored display. Not a bad idea for that, but it's not going to push direct for that. Hassim has another one. Do you prefer to put exact broad phrase into same campaign? No, separate campaigns. Separate them entirely. If you're doing exact broad and phrase, do an exact campaign, a broad campaign, and a phrase campaign. It bugs the crap out of me when people put different campaign types into the same campaign, because it's goes against logic essentially. So yeah, absolutely separate those in different campaigns if possible. Rosina, please guide as asked in my question, influencers, traffic, and coupons. I don't know if I saw your question. Let's see here. Let's try. I don't know if I'm seeing your question there, Rosina. I've seen your previous ones, but I don't know specific when it comes to influencers, traffic, and coupons. If you can, just put the question in there real quick, and next couple of minutes we'll get to it and then go from there. But yeah, I'm not too sure what you're asking. Let's see. My client does DTF transfers in the handmade section. This means 1K SKUs or more. What would you recommend to monitor COGS, profits, EI, Merchant Springs? Yeah, Merchant Springs great. Merchant Spring is great. I love it. And we use it here internally for all of our clients. It's probably what I would recommend, honestly, at the end of the day, just because it is what we use internal. It's going to be a really great tool. There's plenty of other tools out there, though. I mean, if you go to, and again, a little bit of a plug here, myamazonguy.com, and then go to our recommended, now let's pull it up here, third-party services. I'm not sure if we have a banner for this one, Alan, but if you can put that up. There we go. We have a banner for it. But myamazonguy.com, recommend third-party services. If you can find another one here, I think we have a few. Merchant Spring is here, obviously. Love this one. Sellerboard, actually. Sellerboard's a really, really good one. We don't use it internal. I've used Sellerboard a lot now that I think about it. That's actually where I would probably go for you specifically, just because you're going to get a little bit more fine-tuning with what you're needing when it comes to those handmade items. So I would probably look at Sellerboard. It's going to be a cheaper alternative as well, and would probably be really, really good for you. Okay, we got a couple more questions here. Let's see. Are you guys selling on TikTok or still selling on Amazon? We do TikTok. Yeah. We do TikTok currently. If you guys are interested, we do TikTok shop. We typically try and keep it to current people, but absolutely we have tons of clients who are doing TikTok shop right now. Whether or not it's going to really pass Amazon any day, I'll wait to see. But we do TikTok shop. We also do Walmart if anyone's interested. And we also are doing web SEO services for anyone that's interested in that as well. Okay, Miles. Most of my PPC sales come from phrase, broad, or auto campaigns, but sales are random for these search terms. Pulling them into exact campaigns do not convert. Should I keep them running? So my question there would be, one, if you're pulling them into an exact campaign, you're just essentially competing with yourself against your broad and phrase, right? So that's the first thing there is I would check to see what are you actually spending on any of them. When you're just doing the same keyword in two different campaigns, you're essentially competing yourself and you're just going to be spending whichever one is highest. Secondly, when it comes to the actual converting on the exact campaigns there, focus pretty heavily if you can on making sure your keywords are actually relevant. So again, go into Helium, check the relevancy for the actual product, and check your competitors. Are your competitors running against it? That's something I would be kind of curious on. It's interesting if you have like a broad and you're hitting on it, but you're not hitting on it for an exact. That kind of makes sense because you're hitting a more broad target with that keyword, right, than you would be otherwise. So hopefully that helps. All right, guys. I think that's where we're gonna call it today. A little bit earlier than most days, and whatnot. I do have to, hop off here a little early. But that being said, we do have one last question. Gonna be the last one, then we'll go from there. Larry, when you look at Cerebral, are you looking for keywords? What metric do you look at? Just search volume or something else like Cerebral IQ? Yeah, so you want to look for your search volume. You want to look for your relevancy score for that IQ again. And then on top of that, you want to look at your competitor analysis with it, right? So you want to see, are my competitors using this, which usually means it's relevant, right? And then on top of that, relevancy is always going to be best for keywords. I don't care how irrelevant you think a keyword is. If you can very clearly see that you are selling on it and it's relevant, there you go. That's going to be the biggest thing. So absolutely, yeah, look for your ranking, search volume, and relevancy. All right, guys, let's call it there. And then we are My Amazon Guy. We will be here every single Friday, myself, answering any and all of your Amazon questions. You can check us out at myamazonguy.com on the banner down below. We do Amazon full service PPC management, full account service management. We do design. We do videos. We also do Walmart. We do TikTok. And we also do some web SEO. So check us out. If you are looking for SOPs, we sell our entire SOP library. You can buy our SOP library as well. If you are looking for courses, we have an entire course catalog. We also have Mag School as well. So check that out. And if you're looking for a job, we have our careers section. We do paid internships for brand managers for everything. So if you're just starting in the Amazon space, feel free to check out our internships page. Go apply. I would love to be able to teach some of you. So, and finally, coaching. If you want a one-on-one session, if you like these live Q&As on Fridays, go to our coaching page, schedule with me. I'd be happy to, help you guys and go from there. But again, we will be here every single Friday. Looking forward to next week and hope everyone has a fantastic weekend.